let's head to Uganda, where President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda yesterday delivered the yearly address against the backdrop of a country struggling with a sagging economy and high levels of unemployment, which together have fueled the creeping sense of hopelessness in many households.
Now, to help us analyze the president's address yesterday, we are joined by Jeff Gideguyi-Wadulo. He's a policy and program advisor at the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group, and he joins us live from Uganda. Good morning. Thanks for your time.
Yes, good morning, and thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Of course, Ugandan president has had a very busy past 2 weeks. Of course, from dealing with the security challenges and the loss of 54 Ugandan soldiers to, of course, the controversy concerning the LGBTQ and the anti-gay laws. But let's talk about the reception for his speech yesterday. What were the biggest talking points in the country after that address, State of the Nation address?
Yeah, thank you, and good morning and good evening wherever you are. When the president comes up with the State of the Nation address, there are a lot of expectations. People are thinking about the economy, people are thinking about security, people are thinking about jobs. People are thinking about the survival of the agricultural sector, which is the backbone of the economy in the next 2 to 3 years. When the president came up, he did recognize that our economy is doing a rebound and is projected to grow up about 6 to 7% in the next 3 or 4 years. Of course, we could also recognize that there are a bit of improved macroeconomic indicators. For example, the prices are seemingly now moving down, fuel prices, food prices are a little high, but you could see that on the measure, there is a slight ease on the pressure of the economy, and there seems to be some bit of relief. So in terms of stability, it is very unfortunate that we lost our troops in Somalia, and that seemed to be a very big hit on our peacekeeping efforts. However, there's a lot that is being done. A team of the Uganda People's Defense Forces has been dispatched to Somalia to investigate what exactly could have happened so that that does not happen again.
All right. When President Yoweri Museveni gave the State of the Nation address last year, that's in 2022, we could see that a lot of the conversation was surrounding the fragile economy as a result of the increase in prices based on COVID, the effects of COVID, as well as the Russia-Ukraine war. If you compare the speech from last year, at the time he gave the State of the Nation address last year, to the State of the Nation address this year, would you say that there has been a massive improvement in the quality of life that Ugandans are currently living?
Citizens are still struggling because actually the price of fuel takes away a lot of money, which would be for spending on a number of essential commodities back in their homes, but also for health and education. So there are still struggles that are going on. People still don't feel that money in their pockets. However, government is coming up with a number of interventions, especially targeting a certain section of those who are poor, about 39% of the Ugandan population, who government identifies are not in the money economy. So there's about 1 trillion Uganda shillings every year, targeting a group like that through a special flagship program of government called the Parish Development Model. We hope that that can actually take money into people's pockets. However, of course, there will be concerns about organization, concerns about effectiveness of delivering some of these grassroots-based programs. But there's a sense that there's a responsiveness of government to the poverty of its citizens.
Okay, well, time will tell, how things eventually turn out. Because I think the, excuses that were given, for example, the COVID-19 and then the Russia-Ukraine war, those excuses may not fly, any further. And so I'm sure the Ugandan people are looking forward to better times. But let's now talk about the, one very huge controversy, I beg your pardon, that has come up in the last couple of days, and that is the anti-gay law. He also did speak about it yesterday, once again, doubling down on that bill. So let's talk about the reception of those conversations in Uganda. Are Ugandans generally happy with the step that President Yoweri Museveni has taken with this anti-gay bill? And what is the conversation like concerning this in Uganda?
I think it is a mixed bag, if you like. A number of, for example, you saw the vote that could have been broadcast in Parliament. About 75% of members of Parliament signed the anti-homosexuality bill, which the president was a little hesitant to sign, but finally he did sign after he brought it back to Parliament for modification on a number of articles that needed modification. For example, instead of criminalizing people because they are gay, the focus was put more on whether somebody was caught promoting lesbianism or homosexuality, and or if they were involved with a minor. That attracts a lot of big penalty. But you could see that he was trying to make sure that there is a win-win between those who really wanted this law badly, but also those concerns of those who are actually gay and practicing, but also the interests of our development partners, especially the United States. So
just for clarity, what you're saying is he is saying that it's not illegal to be gay in Uganda, but there will be prosecutions for people who are promoting it actively, and of course for those who are involving minors in the activities. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sections of the law. If, for example, you are caught trying to promote homosexuality, then it attracts a certain kind of penalty. But also if it is found that you as either a minor or an adult and you are engaging in acts of homosexuality with minors, then that also attracts.
What about consensual homosexuality?
So the idea.
Yeah. What about, if I'm in Uganda, yes, I am not promoting homosexuality, but I am, a gay person in Uganda. Kindly go ahead.
Yes. That seemed to come out clear. They're going to.
All right, it seems that we're having challenges connecting with the guests, but I'm just going to read an excerpt from his speech. He says, "This is the law I signed. These are the three substantive points being, is your personal problem, promoting is criminal and qualifies you for prison, raping qualifies you for a possible death sentence. Additionally, in Uganda, sex is confidential, even heterosexual sex. Therefore, if a homosexual keeps his being to himself or confidentially seeks assistance from the doctors or priests, it will not offend the law. I've told our MPs that if there are still some illogicalities in the law, such as forcing employers to know who is a homosexual in the company or landlords to know which tenants are homosexuals, we shall work to amend them and keep the substance." Having, talked about this, I mean, you've explained to us here that from what we gather and from the excerpt I've just read out, that being is not a crime, but being open about your status and sort of recruiting other people or advertising your status, your sexual orientation is where the crime is. It initially received a lot of backlash when the law was signed from the international community. Do you think that him bringing this new perspective might change the standpoint of the international community on Rwanda's stance on the anti-homosexuality law?
I think, lawmaking is a very political process. So sometimes, even when you've not read the details of the law, the impression, the public opinion alone can influence the way people react to a particular law. So once the president has come up and said, you know what, we still need to protect and also investigate more about this entire practice of homosexuality, he's actually giving a kind of olive branch for those who are on the different sides of the issue to be able to understand more what it is exactly that influences homosexuality, whether it is a natural phenomenon or actually it is a socialization that people can actually learn, either to get into the act or even learn to get away. So you could see that there is some sense of saying, you know what, we're not going to criminalize people for being who they are, but can we also make a difference if they are engaging in a practice like that, that they are not crossing the boundaries with those who are actually not originally homosexual, but are being recruited in the practice.
All right. Jeff Wadulo, thank you very much for your time and for speaking with us. We wish the people in Uganda very well, and of course we would love to speak with you again sometime in the future. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.